A long, long time ago, there lived a little girl. The little girl was lazy and selfish, therefore never listened to her parents' words. She did not listen to her father when he asked her to do some chores, nor did she listen to her mother when she asked the little girl to do kitchen work.
Why aren't you listening to us? What are you going to be when you grow up?
Whenever the little girl's mother scolded her, the little girl would always talk back.
Why do you always make me work? Doing well in my own work is enough. I don't want to do yours or father's work.
Then her father would become frustrated and tell the little girl,
Why do you hate so much to help out? We work every day to help you stay full and have a happy life. I'm so upset being your father.
However, the little girl would not understand his words. Instead, she would even make her father more upset by saying,
Isn't it obvious for parents to take care of their own child? Did I ever ask you to give me birth?
While her parents worked for hours, the little girl would just play around all day long. Even when her parents would cry out in pain due to their brutal work, the little girl wouldn't even try to help. Soon, the little girl's mean attitude became notorious, and everyone in town recognized the little girl. When the little girl walked by, people would point at her and say,
That's the bad
That's
girl,
the bad girl
with
with bad actions.
What
What
unfortunate,
unfortunate
people
they
they are
are
to have a daughter
like her.
Then, the people in town would even keep their children from playing with the little girl. They were afraid their children would become like the little girl. However, the little girl didn't care whether the people in town insulted her or not. Instead, the little girl snorted, thinking,
What's the difference? Tell them to insult me as much as they can.
As time passed by, there was no one left around the little girl. The adults nor the children wanted to stay with her. The little girl felt lonely, but since she didn't have any friends, she played on her own, alone. One day, the little girl heard a strange sound from the corner of her room. It was a mouse crawling out of a mouse hole. The lazy little girl just watched the mouse instead of shooing it away. The little mouse went to the rice sack, grabbed one grain of rice, and went back into the mouse hole. Soon, the little mouse came out of the mouse hole again, this time along with a bigger mouse. The bigger one seemed to be the little mouse's mother. Then, a weird scene happened. The bigger mouse, which seemed to be the mother, was following around the little mouse. Whenever the big mouse went on the wrong track, the little mouse corrected her direction by squeaking. Eventually, the big mouse was led to the sack of rice. The girl was at first confused by this happening, but soon thought of the meaning of the unusual scene.
Maybe the mother is blind.
The big mouse seemed to be blind, which was probably why the little mouse helped the big mouse by leading the way to the rice sack. At last, the big mouse seemed to be full by eating grains of rice. Then the little mouse again led the big mouse back to the mouse hole. Watching this scene, the little girl eventually thought of her own parents. Right at this moment, her parents were working hard to feed her and buy her clothes. The little girl was so sorry for her parents and thought,
Even that little mouse is trying its best to feed its mother. And I'm here lying in my room waiting for my parents to do all the work for me. I'm even worse than a mouse.
The little girl was very embarrassed about her wrongdoings and felt sorry for her parents. Therefore, from that day, she helped her mother do kitchen work and did her father's chores. She even massaged her parents when they seemed tired. Not so long, their family became happy and their house became full of warm laughter. The parents took better care of their changed daughter, and the people in town started complimenting her. The little girl never forgot the lesson she learned from the mouse and lived happily ever after, helping her parents with love forever.